Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good.
I just wanted to have an informal conversation about your career. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure, yeah. In animation or in film?
Animation and film. I mean, we're mostly talking about animation, but...
Okay, well, the reason I ask is because I started in live action as a gopher and I worked my way up to assistant editor over in Arizona at a facility over there,
Oh, wow.
post-production house. But the whole time I had my sights on animation, so I was learning as much as I could at any place in Arizona, so I could move over here and get into animation. So
when did you have that first desire to get into animation? When did that begin?
it actually started kind of when I was like 2 or 3 years old when I watched the commercials on TV.
Wow.
So it was that feeling was there, but I didn't know what it was, until I got older. I was in like high school. I started to realize, wow, I want to go in that direction, And
Did you have any formal training specifically for animation? Or?
it actually started kind of when I was like 2 or 3 years old when I watched the commercials on TV.
Wow.
So it was that feeling was there, but I didn't know what it was, until I got older. I was in like high school. I started to realize, wow, I want to go in that direction, And
Did you have any formal training specifically for animation? Or?
no, not until I got out to California. I took actual classes. That's when I made the decision to focus on learning animation and whatever that entailed, which is life drawing, all these different classes. So I started at the Brandeis Art Institute in Reseda.
So you actually were doing flip books, or how did you get into learning about the craft of animation before you came into college?
Yeah, I do flip books for fun. Of course, like everybody, you do stuff in the corner of the textbooks in school. You're drawing little things, so I did a lot of that. Did a lot of films with neighbors, home movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We do stop motion, we do cutouts, we do hand-drawn stuff, all kinds of things. So I've always had the bug,
How long did it take for you to get your first job in animation?
It took, from the moment that I made the decision to actively look for a job, it took about 2 weeks to get a job in animation. At the time it was 1983, and it wasn't a very popular thing to do. It was kind of geeky and nerdy, and not everybody was into it. It was before like Little Mermaid and all that stuff started. So it wasn't that hard to get in. It's just I had to really apply myself, and like I'd get the phone book out and I'd look up every single studio in LA, and I made a checklist and I'd go through one by one. It's okay, that I went there and interviewed, I went there and there, and I would call all these places, and that's how I got into.
What was your first job in animation?
The first one in animation was a really tiny little studio called Silver Cloud Productions. It was in Burbank in this tiny little building. And they just did commercials and stuff, kind of like animated effects and hold-out mats and stuff. And that's I was a gopher for them, and also, at night I'd do little cutting out Exeter paper and do hand inking and things like that for hold-out mats, things like that. So that was the first animation-related job.
Was there any particular projects that you worked on when you first started that helped you the most in terms of your animation? Obviously, when you first started, you probably had aspirations of working at Disney or one of the bigger studios. Was there any particular project or any particular person that helped you on your path to becoming a better animator?
Yeah, absolutely. Dale Bear was the biggest influence for me, the biggest mentor. I worked for him for about 5 years straight, and at his studio, Bear Animation.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really had aspirations to work at Disney, which is weird. Most people really have their sights set on that. But I always wanted to just make cartoons, short subjects, and never really focused on features at all. But I learned so much from him working. I'm glad I worked at his studio because he did a lot of commercials, which is an invaluable training ground for an animator because you're always doing different styles for each different spot. And you're getting used to schedules, the deadlines. So you're getting great training, and you're getting paid for it. So that's fantastic. You can't ask for more.
Is there any particular projects that you like, or what are some of the projects that you've worked on that you'd like to talk about?
Let's see. Well, I had a great time working on The Mighty Bee at Nickelodeon. That was a blast.
Do you want to ride on the roller coaster? Yes, I want to ride on the roller coaster. I said, and she's safe. Go bees, go bees. Go bees, go bees. What's that? One more time. Go bees, go bees. Ride the roller coaster.
I was a storyboard revisionist officially, but also they allowed me to do like full animation on the show. Whenever the director had certain scenes he wanted to really showcase or pump up, you know, put a lot of fun, make some fun scenes out of in the episodes. We were allowed, you know, almost carte blanche. He'd give us some layouts and say, yeah, just do whatever, you know, have fun with it. So we'll see what you come up with, and if I like it, great, we'll keep it in. And that's pretty. He liked everything, so it was a blast. You know, it was like an animator's heaven. You know, you get to do whatever you want, and they liked it. It's just a lot of fun. You get to create.
'Cause I'm running with the rainbow unicorn. Don't you wish you were me? Wait, I can do this! I ate a wheel of brie! I'm probably coming down with something.